Zangpo.
Kamri mo.
Chajalo.
Namaste.
That was Mr. Pema Wangchuk sipping a cup of water, sadly. Yeah, so welcome to the Sikkim podcast brought to you by Summit Times. We are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, we are on various podcast platforms like Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Please write to us at news@summittimes.com if you have any suggestions or feedback. And the last podcast, if you've heard it, we had to cut short the podcast because the memory card of the recorder got full and it was not recording while we were yapping for about half an hour. So to begin, let's talk about the Saturday holiday for government employees. All the Saturdays are holidays for government employees.
So far, yes.
That was declared by the SKM government as soon as it came to power.
Yes.
And
the 5-day week.
A 5-day week, Saturday and Sundays holidays. But some months ago, a month or two ago, the government said that this is hampering.
No, this is being misused.
Oh, this is being misused, yes. Oh, and it was given.
It would be interesting to learn how you misuse a holiday by working. Unlikely.
So it was meant to care and cure government employees when the holidays were announced, the Saturday holiday was announced, and then the government said, the Chief Minister made some speeches, he said it's being misused and
too much care and too much cure.
So we will be...
All the officers have to be trained about their jobs when they get back on Monday.
No, then they said...
Too much time wasted.
They'll be cancelling?
What they're going to do is they're going to have the second Saturdays and the fourth Saturday off. The other Saturdays will be working Saturdays. So
that was the decision.
Which used to be the case earlier with schools as well. I don't know whether government offices also, I think that was at one time. Used to be the case.
For some time there was no news about that, but now we've come to learn that it has been done, right?
Yeah, schools, I think for the schools what happened is that the boards, CBSE and ICSE and mostly CBSE schools in Sikkim, all government schools are CBSE, they require you to have a certain number of working days in a year. And with the Saturday off and the huge number of holidays that Sikkim has, it's a very festival inclined state. The schools are not meeting the minimum number of working days required, or required actually, not even recommended, required by CBSE. So they had to kind of do something like this for the schools, and I think they're extending that to the government offices as well.
All right. So I was asking whether this has been notified.
Yeah, that's what we've heard.
The cancellation of the holidays.
I've seen the notification for the schools. I personally have not seen the notification for the government offices, but that's what we've heard, that it's been notified. Although a lot of government servants don't seem to know about it either.
What?
A lot of government servants, the two government servants that we spoke to didn't know about this. Whether the Saturdays holidays have been scrapped or not.
It doesn't matter. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. It's going to take them some time to kind of...
Yeah, so many things, no? And so many transfers happening still.
Yeah. The latest was with cops.
Yeah.
And no, before that we had some bureaucratic reshuffle also.
Yeah, like
mid to senior level.
कब खत्म होगा होला है? It's been going
कैसे खत्म होगा? Government चल रहा है. Till the time the government is not functioning, they'll need to keep shifting people.
Earlier you would see like there would be a transfer season, right?
Yeah.
Maybe once a year, twice a year, and a big
Everything
chunk of
people
would get transferred. But then now it's been on since last year. Since the new government was formed, it's been just on and on.
Because requests keep coming, people who've not received a plum posting for the last 25 years will want to move in someplace nice. I guess that's how things work with them.
Yeah, so what we missed.
They've announced a transfer. And since we are on that topic,
Okay.
we've been hearing SKM people keep talking about a transfer policy in the offing.
Oh, yes, but
And,
that doesn't. Yeah.
I don't know what they mean by that. Because one would expect that there is already a kind of, even if it is not written, a criteria that a person will remain on a post for a certain number of years, will get to do whatever they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've been
so-
hearing about transfer policies since
Forever.
Forever, so I don't think
No, it
it's
doesn't
coming
serve
anytime.
the government's purpose, especially when it comes to dispensing favors and victimizing people to have a transfer policy in place. If it is codified, then it can be challenged.
Yeah.
You don't codify it, and then you can
Do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
That is the name of the game.
Yeah.
So, we spoke about the arrests of Bharat Namgyal and Santosh Rai last time. No, so what we left, we could not discuss was the BJP-SKM alliance.
Or whether there
Or
is
whether
even
there is,
one.
yeah.
And if there is one, then has it soured? Yeah.
So, we did a story on, Summit Times did a story on that, and where BJP leaders who could not come on record, did not come on record, nobody came on record from both SKM and BJP, but they have said that there is
Some misgiving.
BJP Sikkim is disappointed with the SKM government's decision to appoint only Sonam Venchungpa as a chairperson of Denzong Cooperative Society, as in like of any society, any government
Been given a government post.
or government post. So, and they have said that at least YT Lepcha should have been appointed, if not the rest of the BJP MLAs.
Mm.
So, in total, you have 12 BJP MLAs right now, Mr. Venchungpa, Mr. YT Lepcha, and then 10 SDF guys who shifted to BJP like a month, not even a month after the election.
Weeks.
Yeah.
Within weeks.
So it has 12 MLAs, but only one was given the
A
chairperson post.
Government post.
Yeah, so
Government perk.
they said that this is not nice, and they've BJP leaders have in that story. They also said that they things could escalate in a way like they said it is BJP-SKM relationship. Is on its way out types.
Yeah, but we see that this is something that they never kind of defined for anyone with any clarity about what the SKM-BJP relationship was. They had a seat sharing arrangement for the by-elections. And normally when you have a seat sharing arrangement, it is understood that it's an alliance that you're forging. But since the government was already formed, we didn't know what that meant. So it was, if it is souring, then someone should tell us what the relationship originally was.
Yeah.
You cannot just say, oh no, we were seat sharing and we'll support the good things and we'll criticize the bad things. That's like, anybody says that. But whether BJP expected a role in the government or wanted the SKM government to be tagged as an alliance government with the BJP, that was never clarified. I'm sure there must have been some kind of wheeling dealing to see if cabinet berths could be secured for BJP MLAs and things like that. But what is in, yeah.
Just to give a background for those who might have forgotten or don't know, Mr. Venchungpa, Sonam Venchungpa won from the Martha Rumtek constituency
In the by-elections.
in the by-elections after DT Lepcha, who had won of SDF, who had won from Martha Rumtek constituency, gave up that seat because he had also won the Nathong Machong seat.
Yeah.
So that seat became vacant, and Venchungpa was the leading opposition guy after DT Lepcha. I mean, he gave a tough fight to DT Lepcha
Yeah, it
also.
was a very close finish.
So
in EVMs, he actually won by one vote.
Yeah.
It's in the postal ballots that he lost.
So he was
On an SKM ticket.
he was he had contested that constituency on an SKM ticket, but lost to DT Lepcha. And then in the by-elections, because of the BJP-SKM alliance, SKM gave Mr. Venchungpa over to
On deputation. as they call it.
as the party calls it, to BJP, and he won the seat on a BJP ticket.
Yeah.
And
YT Lepcha.
YT Lepcha is the only original BJP candidate to have won the elections.
Yeah, in that he was with BJP for at least the previous
for the
5 years.
longest time as compared to the rest of
Yeah.
the gang now.
Yeah.
And so it is obvious that Mr. Wangchuk was given the chairperson post because he is more an SKM leader than a BJP leader. So that is obvious. And
Yeah, the optics of it don't really work very well because at the end of the day, he'll go on record as a BJP MLA who's been made a chairperson. We've never really had instances in Sikkim where the opposition MLA is made a chairperson of anything. Of course, he's made the chairperson not because he's a BJP MLA, but because he's an old SKM hand. But I don't know, maybe it came without any explanation. I think we had a discussion on this some time back as well on the podcast.
About Wangchuk?
Yeah, about this appointment, about how it came without any clarifications or explanations. It was just that he was appointed. No one told us what this means in the politics of things.
Appointed as chairperson.
Appointed as chairperson.
I don't think we discussed that.
We did.
We did.
Yeah, it's been so far back that we've been like, so we forget what we say. No, but BJP is interesting. It's the second largest party in the assembly, which had won no seats when the elections were first held. Now it has 12. And in this 12, it has the most variety, like we were discussing earlier in the day. It's got there are 3 kinds of BJP MLAs. The first lot were the SDF turncoats, crossovers, people who won on an SDF ticket and jumped over to BJP. Then you have the by-election products, of which one, like we said, was a BJP member, party member for many years. So when he contests, he wins. So he becomes a true BJP MLA. And then you've got one SKM person who is wearing BJP colors for the time being and is the MLA. So there are 3 kinds of BJP MLAs. And clearly that's how the government also sees it because they are being treated differently. So the BJP MLA gets the SKM loanee to BJP gets a chairperson's post, the others remained ignored.
And we were also discussing how...
and this obviously has not gone down very well with the BJP, who were probably expecting a bigger role or more posts maybe. At one time there was talk of cabinet berths for BJP MLAs, which is not happening anytime soon it seems. So, so that's where we are.
Also interesting is that along with Mr. Wangchuk, GT Dhungel and Prasad Sharma were also appointed advisors to different organizations.
Government departments, undertakings, whatever.
Yeah, so...
But they are SKM MLAs.
So no,
they are also from SDF.
Yeah, of course, those 2 are from SDF who were the first to jump ship to SKM. So maybe that's their reward.
Yeah, the first 2 to abandon SDF.
Yeah.
Even before the BJP.
That is,
crossover.
I find that interesting.
What?
Like, maybe that was part of the deal when they came, no? When they jumped ship. Because what was the need to give them any post?
Yeah, it's not as if they had any leverage in the party, really.
Yeah. Especially after, maybe... what am I saying?
No, they did bring in, they were kind of, because you see, it was very evenly placed, the assembly. It was 17-15, and the by-elections could have changed things. And when it became 15, what was it, 15-13, when the by-elections were called, at that time when these 2 people went over to SKM became 17.
Yeah.
So that kind of was much more comfortable than the razor-thin margin that they had earlier. So they did bring in a lot for SKM. They helped SKM breathe easier. So they needed to be rewarded for that. I don't think this is a very big reward. Advisors are like chief guest duty.
Yeah, something is better than
for
nothing, as they
chota
say.
meetings.
And then we were also talking about how it is the 10 SDF MLAs are 10 MLAs. And
yeah, 10 out of the 12 MLAs that BJP has. So they are a huge lobby. which seems to have no voice in the party, which is surprising.
Yeah, they have not.
They're like almost, I mean, I would call them second-class citizens because we never hear of them addressing any any BJP meeting. We don't hear of them being part of any BJP function. When the BJP president was renominated to the post by Delhi and returned to all this fanfare,
They
when
were-
Jumpa and Whitey Lepcha were there at those
Welcome
reception committees, meetings,
welcome program.
welcome programs, but the 10 MLAs were missing.
Yeah, they're always missing.
Yeah, and after that brief,
No, you don't need to say that. I'll just cut everything off.
no, you can't do that. People should know how casual you're about this podcast and let the phone ring in the middle of it. Yeah, this is. I don't know what's happening between the MLA and the party. The MLAs, 10 former SDF MLAs and the party. I hope. No, that's wrong. Why should we hope anything? But I don't know. BJP is not the most exciting group to be part of. It is almost embarrassing, disturbing actually at present, given how they're running the country.
I don't
And
think
what
that
they've pushed us
matters.
to
I
it.
don't think what happens in the rest of the country matters to Sikkimese anymore.
It should, no? It should.
It should.
It
but
should, given the whole manner, how it is handling diversity, how it is handling independent identities, and how it is cracking down on any form of dissent, its problems with free speech, independence, intelligence, informed opinion. I mean, everything that a democracy stands for, BJP has a problem with, and their best friend is Trump, Donald Trump. So, I don't know. I don't know what the 10 BJP MLAs are thinking right now. What they're thinking of their own political futures, or what they're thinking of Sikkim. Are they even thinking of Sikkim? Yeah.
Yeah, so many things could be happening. They could be trying to cut deals with SKM. That is also
I don't think
possible.
SKM is interested in them. It doesn't need them.
And
It's got Delhi on its side. Amit Shah is backing them.
or they could be just going silent, staying low for a while. That's what that's what is a trend among Sikkim's politicians. When things go wrong, they just go silent and they
Hibernate.
hope that people will forget and forgive.
They'll forget them. That's the danger, right?
Mm.
In
That
politics,
too.
you don't want to be forgotten.
No, they'll just
Yes,
rise
the
up.
entire opposition is
No,
doing the same thing actually right now.
They'll come to life just before the elections, no, again.
Yeah.
And people forget also. And
Then they'll fish for tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, God knows what's happening with
Anyway,
that on that
that-
count.
And all the let's
Yeah,
move on
move
to
on.
the next topic, and
Yes.
which is the coronavirus handling of coronavirus in Sikkim by the authorities.
Yeah.
And a very interesting incident came to light, and we would like to share that with you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're driving into Gangtok, if you're driving into Sikkim, you'll notice that there is someone in a, what is that called? That suit they wear, whatever.
Hazmat suit.
That hazmat suit and a mask, a different looking mask, interesting one. And we'll just peer into cars and see if anyone has fever. And that's a doctor probably, who are checking against, visually checking against coronavirus. But anyways, the incident I'm talking about is that there was the central government, a person working with a central government agency in Sikkim, who was at Wuhan when the epidemic broke out, as were some students from Sikkim, if you remember correctly, right? And he came back, from Wuhan somehow, I think in one of those evacuation flights. And when he got to Sikkim, he informed his seniors that he was in Wuhan, and as a precautionary measure, he's going to quarantine himself at home for 14 days. I think that's the gestation period of the virus. You got to kind of try and stay away from other people for that time. And if the symptoms don't manifest, then you're obviously good to go. So when he informed his seniors about that, they, it seems, got in touch with the health officials in Sikkim and said that we have such a case of someone from who's just returned from Wuhan, and you should be informed about it. And the doctors showed up at this person's office. So far the story goes by the rules, right?
Yeah.
This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to report if you've been in Wuhan. Your seniors are supposed to report you to the authorities, and then the authorities are supposed to show up at your door. Now, this person supposedly was planning to kind of quarantine himself at home the doctors or whoever it is from the health officials who showed up said that aise nahi hoga. You have to kind of enter the isolation ward in the hospital for 14 days. And the person was not very interested. He said, no, I would not like to do that. If I've got to be in isolation ward for 14 days, I'd like to go home. And surprisingly, these people said, Ki, theek hai, then we'll escort you out of Sikkim. So they put him in an ambulance. There were 2 escorts with him. And they drove him down to Siliguri and left him there at the bus stand. And the person got into a train and went home, wherever that is.
Crazy.
This is absolutely crazy. I mean, what's the point of an isolation? You cannot say, okay, my isolation will begin like from this particular date. If this person had the virus, I mean, he doesn't, right? He's not fallen sick. He's not passed on the virus.
Thankfully.
There has been no explosion. But if he had the virus, can you imagine, like, you dropped him off from the isolation of his home to a bus stand, from where he went to a railway station, took a train, went home, and then, like, I can't even understand how this person thought that this was safe. But whatever a person might think, I can understand how health officials can think that this is okay. Our job ends at Wrongpool if we get someone with the virus.
No, that is so typically Sikkimese, no? Like I was saying before.
That's so typically bureaucratic.
No. It is typically Sikkimese. It is as long as Rangpo ke par yahan pe nothing happens, or whatever happens here is their business. Whatever happens outside is none of their business. Locals are their business. Non-locals are not their business. It's in every aspect you see this, no? Like center ka funds aata hai. It is, but we will only give it to people with COI and Sikkim subject. If there is a person without COI or Sikkim subject who is suffering from TB or cancer or whatever, they will not get any financial benefits.
They won't get scholarships. They won't get quotas.
So because we told non-local hai, bhar mein jao. We are only bothered about what happens here and what happens to Sikkimese.
Because I think this person kind of had a very disturbing experience. So it was not as if he was treated very well. He was kind of, he overheard comments like, yes, we should get him out of Sikkim, otherwise he'll contaminate our people.
He heard that, see?
Yeah, he overheard them say that. And I hope it's a problem of language. They meant infect and not contaminate, because they carry different connotations. But he heard contaminate, and that really disturbed him. And Freudian lapse or whatever. So I guess that kind of ties into what you are saying.
Yeah, so that one, it is typically Sikkimese, but also the we've talked about this, is the lack of seriousness in following procedures. In other fields also, we know, we've come across that. So even in this case, not particularly in this case, but in the coronavirus case, those 3, I think, Sikkimese students who were studying in China, who came back after the outbreak of coronavirus, they were also supposed to be put in quarantine, isolation wards in STNM. But then the parents, whatever, said, no, we want to keep them at home, house arrest, quarantine ghar mein hi karenge. And the hospital authorities allowed that.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely...
Because imagine if this person had not
crazy.
Informed anyone and just came back, no one would have known. He could have gotten away with it. So, I mean, for the record, I'll also like to state that I think this whole scaremongering of coronavirus is too over the top. It is a worry, yes. It is a fear. The entire world is scared about it and all that. I think, yes, all that is valid. But I think this kind of hyperventilating over it is also kind of over the top.
What are you saying?
I don't think it is as dangerous as SARS, for instance.
No. Yeah. That is...
Things like that. The response to it, the fear-mongering in the name of coronavirus is worrying. Like that, remember that... Did we talk about that audio clip that went viral? That coronavirus has come to Sikkim?
We have discussed that in the last podcast. No, I was saying regarding those 3 Sikkimese students who came back from China, the hospital authorities even... I can't understand how they can even tell this to media without any problem. That they had come and I don't think they have we whatever, they don't have coronavirus. I think they said that we checked them, and but still we wanted to quarantine them, but they said nahi, ghar mein karenge, and we send them home. How can they say that? How can they admit to that?
When rules are prescribed, when
Yeah.
I think half of Sikkim's problems, right? The Sikkim's problems with cops, with traffic cops, with taxi drivers, with babus, with journalists, with half the problems will be solved if people just followed the rules and were not constantly trying to sidestep them. That if I have the contacts, the rules can be relaxed for me. If I don't have contacts, they'll escort me out of Rangpo and leave me in Siliguri as this biological weapon, right? If I'm carrying the virus.
No.
I think that is at the core of most inefficiencies in Sikkim, is that rules can so easily be bent if you can make the right phone calls. Whether it is, I mean, in this case, it is this.
Imagine that guy from Gangtok till Rangpo, even like let's say Gangtok till Rangpo, the number of people he could have infected. We don't know how he's going. He'll probably go by bus or by the shared cabs, right?
You know, yeah, because like in Kerala's case, for instance, in Kerala, when these people were put into isolation wards, it was not just that they were put in isolation wards. They made an entire history of their movement, which all people did they come in contact with. And then those people have to be contacted to see if do you have any symptoms, right? So this person, when he came in from Wrongpool, let's say Gangtok's, Sikkim's
Borders.
Sikkim's responsibility, jurisdiction begins at Wrongpool, right? So they should have said, okay, at Wrongpool, where did you have tea? Right? Then they should go there, check the CCTV, see what kind of people were there. Which taxi did you come in? Let's contact the taxi driver. Then you come here. Did you meet it? Did you buy anything from the sabji shop nearby or whatever? Contact those people. वो सब नहीं करना है.
वो तो कहाँ like
उनके दिमाग में भी नहीं आया होगा. Because that's not their responsibility.
Yeah, नहीं. Again, the hospital authorities का responsibility will end after the hospital gate. It is still the hospital gate, right? उसके बाद जो भी होता है.
Yeah, hospital health. I would say
No,
health department really.
Not
the hospital.
I should not really.
The doctors
we should
bichara
not,
are kind of overworked.
They overworked and all that.
With equipment that doesn't work, that doesn't have. We really have to do that podcast on the hospital. Right? I mean, like we have people. It's not a nice feeling to be a doctor in Sikkim, I think. Because you don't invoke a lot of faith, right?
Yeah.
The moment it is anything more complicated than a cold, people would like to go to Siliguri. So what not enough people talk about is the kind of systems, the kind of management systems under which the doctors are expected to deliver, where they are provided equipment but no supplies, where they are given the most expensive diagnostic facilities, but no rolling fund to keep those systems working, where they're given this fancy hospital, but the fanciness just ends with the structure, and there is no backup.
And
with that rant,
we come to an end. If you haven't gone to sleep, because I think like
dozing. We just had lunch, so it's not the best of things to kind of try and record something after you've had a full lunch.
Yes, and please like and subscribe our channel, our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, as in like the Summit Times Facebook page, like our video, like our
like everything we do,
like the podcast on Spotify.
You can like things on Spotify as well.
I think so. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, we are on platforms we have no idea about.
Yeah. So please do that, and
they can't see you doing a thumbs up.
Thumbs up? No, so thumbs up.
That's a like.
Thumb up. I'm doing a thumbs up, and no, it's a like. Yeah, like sign.
Give us a hat up. Hats up?
Hats up.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Yeah, we just go on like this. I think this is.
No. So I just wanted to. Someone had commented on our YouTube video that we released today, and saying, "Good work. More content, please." And I would really love to be friends. So.
Yeah. We are all friends, yeah.
Yes, so thank you very much for that comment, and we hope to have many more comments and as well as
Suggestions,
criticism.
brickbats, criticism,
And yeah,
a lot of abuse.
yeah, we don't mind that as well.
Not at all thick skin.
Ta-da!